The suspension of Abdulrashid Bawa, where the new acting chairman of the EFCC, Abdulkareem Chuko, has assumed office. TVC News correspondent Sifon Essien is joining me for update on the development at the EFCC. Sifon, thank you so much for joining us on the media news. Bring us up to speed with the latest development at the EFCC.
Well, at the moment, officials of the EFCC are settling into the fact that they now have new sheriff, talking about the new acting chairman of that agency. And now we also received reports from our sources within the agency that invitation has been extended to former government officials, that's talking about ministers under the previous administration, to come before the agency and answer certain questions. Exactly if any of those government officials, talking about the former ministers, have shown up yet is what we cannot confirm. But we understand that last week, one of the ministers actually, showed up and is meant to also report again, to answer further questions. But as we speak, the agency and its officials are settling into the fact that there is a new sheriff, as you would say, in town.
I understand that based on what you said, some former ministers have been invited. And part of what we've seen in the news is the former Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika. Can you confirm this for us? And if you have information about some of these older ministers, former ministers that have been invited?
Yes, including the one whose name you just mentioned, have been invited by the Commission for questioning. But I can also confirm at the moment that the particular name talking about the former Minister of Aviation is yet to show up, and sources close to him say that the minister has claimed that he's not gotten a formal invitation from the EFCC. Meanwhile, on the side of the EFCC, we gathered that a formal invitation has been extended to him and his colleagues, a number of his colleagues, to show up at the commission. So as it now stands, like he, a minister or former minister, saying he's not received any invitation yet, but the commission says an invitation has been sent according to our sources within the commission. So we're now waiting to see how everything pans out.
Yeah, very quickly, some groups have been reacting positively to the sacking of the former EFCC boss and the confirmation of the acting EFCC, restaining of the EFCC Chico. They suspended former EFCC boss, rather. So talk to us about the reaction that have been going on around this. How are people reacting to it and within the EFCC office?
Well, the reactions on the streets and among the opinion leaders has been for and against, obviously. And for those who are supporting the president for his action, they said it was one which would have come earlier, but it's better late than never. But for those who have reservations, all they want at the moment, and those who've engaged with, is that it should be given fair hearing, but that the process should continue. The process is a system whereby if there are allegations, then you have to answer. Now, these are the feelers that we are getting. But one thing is certain at this moment, the fact that the former or the suspended chairman of the EFCC is facing weighty allegations from the federal government, and the federal government is looking at these issues. And in the days or months to come, more revelations will come up.
TVC News correspondent Sifon Essien live for us there. Thank you so much for the update. Keep close tabs on these for us. Thank you. Moving on to other stories, Nigeria risks being left out of the census policy among the Committee of Nations if it fails to conclude the 2023 census. That's according to a federal commissioner of the National Population Commission, Oladinro Yonton. He spoke at a meeting with media in Akure. Ayodeji Moradeyo reports on this.
Population census is the head count of all persons living within a country at a particular period of time. It helps government to know specific number of people living in the country and the structure of the population. Described as the most populous country in Africa, Nigeria last conducted census in 2006, which put the population at 140 million. However, the plan by the National Population Commission to conduct another census this year has been put on hold. At this meeting with media executives in Akure, Ondo State capital, the Federal Commissioner representing Ondo State, Oladiran Inyoton, described the last census held more than 17 years ago as obsolete with outdated data. Inyoton stressed the need for timely conclusion of the 2023 census to save costs.
The numerous benefits of census for delineation of consistencies, that is why we use for election. But for the overall developmental purposes, you must know the characteristics of your population. And this census that we are taking has a very comprehensive questionnaire that goes into the personal, that will give us a lot of information.
He said the Commission has received about 8,000 personal digital assistants delivered to the state. The author also explained that the Commission has done recruitment, configuration, enumeration, demarcation, among others.
So we have multi-dimensional purpose for census, but they are all geared towards the development of the nation, to have data to plan with and develop with. We know the processes, we know a lot of things that we have done in terms of sensitization. We have started from the top to the bottom.
Media managers who attended the meeting expressed readiness to support the Commission, but urged it to reciprocate the gesture by providing newsmen with required information for balanced reports. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Akure.
Nigerians have been advised to pay attention to the boy child to allow them have a better future that will in turn impact the society positively. This is one of the reasons a group of young Nigerians organized a boot camp to equip boys with IT skills needed for the future. TVC News correspondent Theophilus Elama reports.
It's just like the regular camp, but these boys are gathered here to learn IT skills with the aim of making them better individuals. A non-governmental organization involved in this is shifting focus from the girl child to the well-being of the boy child. The mission is to equip boys from the slums with ICT skills to make them better individuals.
Boys in this generation are not as supported as they should be. You know, boys are left out in the equation of things. There's a lot of focus on women, which is good, but we shouldn't also forget the other gender. So the focus here is to coach boys in a specific area of tech.
Having played in the non-profit space for a long time, for over 7 years, we started with projects pertaining to the girl child, and we saw a gap, you know, because these girls are still coming back to meet these boys, right? And it's the gender gap is becoming wider by the day. So we thought, oh, why not do something for the boys? And there are several other organizations doing, you know, project initiatives for the girls, enhancing the girl child. And we just thought to focus more on the boy child.
Mubarak is one of the young boys from the slums who decides not to get involved in a life of crime, rather focusing his energy to gaining valuable skills that will better his future.
I stay in Owuru, then we are in slum, we live in the slums, so we have so many bad things happening there. Robbery, cultists, and you see so many things, cybercrime. So instead of just looking out, instead of joining them, I needed to make my life better so that I can be useful for the country.
We are impacting into the lives of the future generation. These boys are the future, and every society is built off the back of hardworking men. And these boys today who are learning at the Boy Code Boot Camp will become the hardworking men, the industrious men that will make the future better.
This move is gradually changing the mindset of others, as many now see the need to equip the boy child as well. The belief is that by focusing on both gender, individuals with the requisite skill set will be useful to themselves and the nation at large. Theophilus Ilama, TVC News, Lagos.
Outside Nigeria, at least 15 people have died after a truck collided with a bus carrying senior citizens in Canada's Manitoba province. Royal Canadian Mounted Police Officer Rob Larson revealed that 10 others, including drivers of both vehicles, have been taken to the hospital. Flags have been lowered in mourning at Manitoba's legislative building, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau sent his condolences to affected families. William Doherty, who is the CEO of the shipping company that operates the semi-trailer, has promised full cooperation with the investigation.